All right, so um didn't really want to like do a like overview of the trades today or of the past few trades because I missed a few days. But it's just been really demotivating recently. And I feel like I understand why I'm stuck in a cycle of winning and then being and then having large losing streaks, right? And I feel like that's a problem that a lot of traders tend to deal with. So, no, I just want to just talk out loud and just let's talk about this honestly. But really, what I think it is for me, at least, is I've noticed a pattern of me being unable to let my trade play out. And I already talked about that in the video where I was breaking down my strategy. That was mainly my biggest problem, where I just wouldn't take A plus setups and I would let my trade um I wouldn't trust my trade. I would invalidate it myself instead of letting the trade get invalidated by whatever whatever my invalidation system was, whether it be below liquidity sweep or below structure or whatever. And today really confirmed that because today I had a trade on NQ, really good trade. We know NQ pumped today. Um, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna be transparent. I had a Lucid trading account, and yesterday when everyone was talking about long gold on Instagram and things, I feel like that's also my biggest downfall. I listen to social media, even though I don't directly listen, like it'll influence me. So I did end up blowing that account because of my lack of self control. Um, I was halfway through passing it, but I let what social media was telling me. Um, full everyone's full boarding long tomorrow, and it really didn't turn out because what did we see? Gold slam down, which literally I literally knew that price was going to slam down and then push up before continuing, because as we know, gold, well, institutions really need that backing. You know, they're not gonna get in for a bad position at and not, push price down a little bit then push up. You know, price tends to do that. But I was blind to that, because I was focused on making money. And I feel like that's where all of my problems derive, on the focus of trying to make money. And I tend to attach um my self-worth and my um yeah, and how good I'm doing on trading based off if I'm making money or not. But it's really not about that at all. It's really about, can I stick to my bias? When I have bad days, am I gonna blow up, or am I going to take a few losses and then realize, hey, today's not the day for me, Let me get off the charts. Am I able to do that? Or um am I gonna blow up? And that's really what makes a good trader or not, you know? And I feel like sometimes I'm blind to that. And I just focus on making money because that's really what trading is all about. It's all about making money. But well, that's what that's what social media tells you. Trading is all about making money when it's really not all about making money. It's all about sticking to your bias and being a good trader, because being a good trader any day beats making money, because if you're a good trader, you're gonna make money. It's a fact. And I feel like I'm blind to that. So this morning had two beautiful good longs on NQ, and with NQ isn't the same as gold. With gold, most of the time, if you place a trade and price starts slamming down to your towards your invalidation area, you're more than likely wrong, because gold doesn't tend to move down, what, 30, 40, 50 pips, 100 pips, and then just all of a sudden shoot up, unless it's a liquidity sweep or something like that. But gold will tend to let you know if you're wrong immediately. But so for NQ, I was in right for a buy, really good setup. I even had two positions because I scaled in because I saw a beautiful opportunity to scale in for longs off of a retest. But yeah, so I entered and I had the trade playing out. And hold on. But yeah, so I attached my self-worth to whether was able to win that trade or not. And I ended up invalidating my setup early because I said with gold usually if you're wrong, you're wrong. Like you'll know fast. Like price won't just typically with what I've seen from gold, if you're right, it'll just go in your direction, you know. But with NQ, NQ will push up, and if you're wrong, at least from what I've been trading, like it's hard to tell because NQ will come back to your entry and then just all of a sudden push up, like randomly just push up, and yeah, I mean like it's NQ pushed up and came all the way down, and I'm like, hey, let me just exit this trade, because I thought, hey, my trade's been invalidated, and I'm interfering with my strategy and allowing myself to lose because this is genuinely my fault. Who can I blame except myself? Can't blame the markets. I can't blame NQ for using me as liquidity or something. I genuinely have to blame myself. And I exited. The literal second I exited, price went directly to my TP. It was insane. I've never seen anything like it. Like I exited, and the one candlestick just overtook basically all of the losses it did on the 1 minute. It was bizarre. I've genuinely never seen anything like it. But that just goes to show that I if I trusted my validation setup, I would have been up for the day, and I would have been up pretty big because I scaled in because I was confident. But even though I was confident, I obviously wasn't confident enough to let my trade play out. So why even trade if I'm unable to trade? You know, that's what trading is all about. You have to trust your setup because if you can't, then what do you have to trade? You know, I'm trading off of emotion at that point. And yeah, I mean, it's just something to reflect on, honestly, because it's hard. Trading's hard, especially when you've been doing it for so long. I've been trading for I think it's been 3 years now, going on 4, and it's just something that I take so much care and pride in. Not like bad pride, but like I care to do good in it, and from what I've like seen from social media, doing good in trading is making money. But as you know, that is just completely false. Doing good in trading does not equal making money because you can. I've had this happen many times. I told you I really didn't deserve the payout I got because I kind of just gambled on NQ. It wasn't a earned payout. Like I didn't do anything correct. I wasn't sticking to my setup, and I just got lucky, honestly. And it sucks to admit that because it's like, yo, that was a very big achievement, but I didn't earn it. You know, trading's supposed to be a slow grind, and I rushed it, and as a result, I did get a payout. But in the future, am I going to be able to get more payouts? Probably not, because I didn't earn it. I said, but yeah. So it's happened before where I just get lucky, but hold on. All right. But yeah. So making money doesn't mean you're doing something right in trading. Like I'm a testament to that. Like I've made money without doing anything right in trading. So I don't care if I'm able to make money. If I'm unable to stick to my setup and do what my setup says, then am I a good trader? No. I'm just hoping, you know. I'm just trading off of hopes and dreams. Um, but yeah, so I attach myself to doing good in trading or not, and sometimes I just don't understand that I could lose and have done everything right in the market. Like I could have followed my setup exactly to a T and still have lost, and that would have been a great day. But I don't see it like that. I see it as a bad day if I see it as a bad day if I don't really let me change that. If I'm not making money, you know. But what in the right one? I don't think this is the right one, but um oh, I have no idea what's happening. Okay, so yeah, so that'll happen, and yeah, that happened today, and I luckily I didn't blow up because typically I'll tend to lose a trade and just try and make it back. I'll have a make it back mindset, and if I'm unable to make it back, then I just end up blowing the account. So, oh, here it is, and I clicked the wrong one. But yeah, so I'll end up just trying to make it all back. But it doesn't help. You know, it doesn't help just gambling your way to a payout. But it can happen, but it's a longevity wise, can you just hold that up? No. So what's the point in doing it, you know? I've been struggling with asking myself that question and trying to understand what's the point in all of this if I'm unable to stick with my setup and let my setup just ride. But I don't know. I just need to be patient, and after that trade I got in for revenge trades, you know. And my setup is literally this. I on the day I try to take one A plus setup with 2 attempts max with $150 max daily loss. Hold on. Yeah, $150 max daily loss and a $300 target, and on the board I have written stick to this and you will be profitable. So it's not a matter of if I can will be profitable, it's I will be profitable if I do stick to this set of rules that I have laid out for myself. So those are my rules, and what did I do? I didn't follow them. And what can we see happen but from when I do follow my rules versus when I don't? When I do follow my rules, I win on those days, and I always come out profitable on those days. That doesn't mean I did something right, making money, but making money is a byproduct of following your rules. So I don't know. It's just hard because as humans, we naturally attach ourselves to an outcome. We naturally have an outcome based mindset, because I mean it's just natural to think that making money is doing something right, especially with being on social media and seeing all of these people winning and people making millions or thousands and all of that, and then you're over here blowing an account, or I'm over here blowing an account. I'm just wondering where I went wrong, and maybe I'm just not good enough for this. And I feel like everyone has to go through that to understand that it's really not about the money. And if it was about the money, you just get a job. So that's what's really the big issue. Because it's not really about money at this point. It's about proving, at least for me, I'm speaking for myself, it's not about money. It's about proving I could do something, you know. Proving I can do this. But it's something that everyone quits at. I'm able to do something that a lot of people quit at. Like I want to be able to do that, but in the as a byproduct of that, I get attached to the money because I see this as a fast way to, get that dopamine hit when a trade wins, or be able to buy something, or be focused on the future of trying to get whatever it is. Social media paints this fake narrative on trading that everyone falls into, and it's really not about the money at this point. Because if it was, you'd get a stable job, stable income, and like if you really cared about the money that much, you wouldn't put that much risk to it. Or maybe it really is about the money, and a job just isn't in the cards for most people. Most people just don't want to get a job. But for me, I know I love trading. But I've also been asking myself this question: do I love trading, or do I love the idea of making money? Because if there was no money attached to trading, would I still do it? I don't know if I would. I don't know. Because at that point, what am I gaining from it, Like the big thing with trading is you can do something, be good at it, and make money from it. But you have to have such a mindset of just disconnect from money, because say you do have that disconnect from money mindset, and you're okay with taking base hits, and okay with taking $200 days or $300 days on a 500K, a 50K account. Like say just hypothetically, just say you are okay with that, and then say in the future you get you get 10 50K accounts, you get 20 30 50K accounts, you take $200 base hit days, bro. You don't have to worry about getting a job. You're making $200 over 30 20 accounts or 10 accounts or whatever. Like, you don't need a full port and make $1,000 each day, because you don't need to. If you're okay with those base hits, you really don't need the large numbers, because those large numbers are going to do nothing but put more risk onto you and make you more prone to lose the account. So that's really that longevity mindset of knowing that in the future you're going to be able to get way more accounts. You're going to be able to size up incredibly, astronomically size up, and you don't need to make $1,000 days, because at the end of the day, what are you going to do with $1,000 days over 20 accounts? Like, who needs that money? Who needs it? No one really is in desperate need for $20,000 days in trading. Like, no, I don't think there's a person on the earth who's in need of that. Who has a justifiable reason to chase $20,000 days. So why are you doing it? No, why am I doing it? Why am I chasing home runs when I genuinely can't make up a reason except the fact that I'm greedy and I want to make money? That's the only reason. It's greed. And social media causes you to fall into temptation. Really, nothing good comes from social media. I'm gonna be honest, except news, I guess. I found out a lot of good news sources on social media, which keep you informed. But other than that, like the scrolling, the lust of the eyes, lust of the flesh, lust of money, all of that, it brings you no good. Because at the end of the day, is money something you could bring with you to heaven? I don't know. The last I checked, it's really not. It's really meaningless. But that doesn't mean it doesn't matter. Money is meaningless, but it still matters. You still need money to survive. But to put meaning to it is to put priority in it. And to put priority is to make sacrifices for it, because if something's a priority, you're going to make sacrifices for it. And for money, those sacrifices are endless. You will do anything for money at some point. Because of what? Because you're greedy. Even as hard as it is to admit it, some people are greedy and they just genuinely can't see it, or don't see it. They just see it as chasing the bag. No, I'm just chasing the bag. I'm going for 10K days. You know, when you see people having, or I see people having like, they'll be having 10K days or 5K days over accounts, and it's like, it just causes you to covet over what other people have, and causes you to want what they have instead of being thankful and grateful for your own life, grateful for the fact that you are able to trade. You know, this causes you to want more, and the want of more, the love of money, causes you to, as said, make it a priority, start making sacrifices for it, and those sacrifices are endless. You're willing to take risks you shouldn't take, you know. And I'm speaking from firsthand. I have taken risks that I really shouldn't have taken. If I was able to do trading all over again, I would have been profitable a very long time ago, because I know what I know now. But yeah, it's just really just to talk about the main reason I'm losing, because I can't trust my setups. I don't trust my setups. Why? Because I'm scared to lose money. Every time I see my trade go into drawdown, I think I'm doing bad, even though drawdown is all a part of the game. And then I literally lose nothing by letting the trade play out compared to shutting down the trade, then sizing up and switching position. Like, okay, sometimes that'll work, but it's gambling. Sometimes anything will really work. Sometimes anything will work. But does that mean you should do anything at all times? Not at all. You know. But yeah, I mean, I trapped myself in this mindset, but it's about time to break out of it. You know, I've been working towards breaking out of it too, and getting better at taking only 2 trades. But today I took like 7. I also went to ES, trying to justify the trades. Like market structure was looking so beautiful, and I literally knew to trust my setup, but I just didn't, and it's because I was losing money. It's crazy, man. It's truly crazy. You explain this to a normal person, and you're gonna think you're kind of full of yourself. You're dumb for not taking base hits or not letting your trade run. It's not that simple. But yeah, I just wanted to get on here and talk a little bit about why I'm losing. But there's always gonna be another day. Always gonna be another day, and that another day is gonna come tomorrow. So hopefully we can do something tomorrow and see price play out in a way that I hold my trade set up. But yeah, thanks for listening.